What is up, Critics? In this video, I'm going to be giving a guide for this week's HSW time trial for next-gen consoles only, also this week's normal time trial, RC Bandito time trial, and a premium race totaling over $550,000. Remember that the time trials can only be completed once a week during the event week period for the full payout. The premium race, however, can be completed in a limited amount of times with a 48-minute cooldown between each win. Also keep in mind that rocket-powered / flying vehicles cannot be used in time trials. So starting off with the HSW time trial this week, which is Terminal. Again, remember that you can only use an HSW upgraded vehicle for these time trials, and the best one is obviously the Hakachu Drag with the HSW upgrade, which is insanely fast. However, I wanted to pick something a little different, and I noticed that this week's HSW test ride vehicle is the Astron Custom, so that's the one I used for this time trial. Now, in terms of route, the GPS route that they show here isn't really a good route at all, so you're going to want to take the route that I use instead, which utilizes the highway on the west side of the map. And one of the main things I want to mention here is that they did give a lot of extra time on this time trial, so you can make quite a few mistakes and crashes and still have plenty of time left over. Moving on to the normal time trial this week, which is Tongva Valley. I highly recommend are the Pariah, Italy GTO, Emrys, or Krieger for this time trial. And obviously, if you're on next gen, I recommend using the HSW Hakushu Drag. Now, in terms of route, this one is pretty easy, but you gotta remember that you are pressed for time. It can be really, really close when you're finishing this time trial, so you need a fast vehicle. Now, usually for these time trials, I challenge myself by picking either the prize ride challenge car or the casino podium car of the corresponding event week. And for this week, we have the Jester Classic as the prize ride car and the Schlagen GT as the casino podium car. Now, the Jester Classic definitely has no chance of beating this time trial, especially with those slow handling flags. Now, the Schlagen GT, however, does have a chance of beating this one, and that's the one I used for the time trial. Moving on to this week's RC Bandito time trial, which is Construction Site 1. As always, you need to own an RC Bandito in order to participate in these. So this one is pretty tricky if you've never done it before due to all the ramps and tight areas. So make sure to use your brakes a lot and don't use the throttle unless your Bandito is going in a straight line. For my run, you'll see that I was off the throttle for most of it and I still had almost 20 seconds to spare at the end. And lastly, we have this week's premium race, which is Congestion Charge. So this one is restricted to the Supercars class. I highly recommend RV to Vest 8, Emrys, or Krieger for this race. And if you're on next gen, I recommend RV to Vest 8 or the weaponized Ignis with the HSW upgrades. Now this race is pretty easy as it's mainly highway, but due to the speed of the HSW cars if you're on next gen, you need to be extremely careful with the higher speed turns, especially when you're getting slipstream, and of course the cornering section at the end. Especially the first corner, Many people get slipstream during or right before that turn, and what ends up happening is they go right off the side if they don't brake or let off the throttle. So again, depending on how much speed you're getting there, don't be afraid to use your brakes. And that's it, guys. The HSW time trial is pretty easy because there's a lot of extra time, especially if you use the HSW Hakushu drag. The normal time trial is very easy as well if you use a fast car. The RC time trial is pretty tricky, but just take it slow, use your brakes a lot, and you should be fine. And this week's premium race is pretty easy as well if you're cautious with your speed. Again, remember guys, you can earn over $550,000 between 4 this week, and setting yourself a goal to beat them is always a lot of fun in my personal opinion. Let me know which one you found most difficult and what vehicles you used down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.